Prime Minister is in Assam today. He had gone last night and he's coming back today, but the major infrastructure projects launched today are extremely path-breaking. And in fact, I also have come today from Assam. So we are very excited that things are happening and the situation and the conditions in Northeast are changing very fast. I wanted to talk about some schemes, some important projects, but I feel it may not be required because in the short video, the state-wise presentation in a very short but very crisp presentation made, most of the schemes are mentioned and the directions which we have received from Honorable Prime Minister for various steps to be taken are already been shown. The Honorable Prime Minister, some of the important remarks were also made of the small video presentation. And our Minister of State for Donor, Vermaji, also mentioned about certain projects, certain important steps taken in the last 10 years. So I really need not require to repeat those things which are already been stated. And I also know that most of you are aware of the important projects taking place. And of course, the changes which we are seeing today in the entire region are well in front of us. But while sitting, I was thinking I must make certain remarks which are extremely important and very close to my heart. As a student, when I was here in the university, I still remember how we used to feel and how Northeast used to be treated by the central government and how the students, the people coming from Northeast used to feel being in the national capital of our country. We were always classified as a region which is full of turmoils, full of insurgencies, problems, endemic issues like underdevelopment, and Northeast hardly attract people from outside. I tried to find out that why Northeast, which is one of the most gifted region, remains isolated, underdeveloped, neglected. Why? I used to think, as a student, we used to sometimes raise our voice so that we can be heard. Because Northeast is blessed in true sense. In the entire world, there are only few regions which are blessed with abundant natural resources. Northeast is one of the few regions where there is surplus, abundant water resources. Water is life. Today, water is such a critical resources for human existence. We are looking for technologies for clean water, preservation, desalination plants. In my ministry, we are finding new technologies to get fresh water out of oceans. So Northeast is already abundantly gifted with fresh water. Northeast is the only region in the country which is totally green, and our forest, our flora, fauna, all things which you see in the Northeast are truly pristine. Northeast region is also blessed with tremendous natural resources. We have oil, gas, coal, all the precious mineral resources are available in the Northeastern region. On top of that, Northeastern region is blessed with a beautiful landscape of cultures, vibrant society, talented people. Everything, whatever you see in Northeast truly gives us the delightful feeling that Northeast is truly a fully blessed region. There are so many attributes to Northeast, but I'm not going into that. But what I'm saying is, despite so much of natural resources, human resources, vibrant society, yet the region remains poor, neglected, and isolated. There are various reasons, but I'm not going to speak about the reasons here because we are not sitting in a seminar, so I'm not going to detail about this thing, but just to mention that I felt right from the student days up till now, the approach has to be correct. The mentality and the mindset has to be appropriate. From our side also, in the northeastern region, and the people of the country, led by the central government, if we tackle northeast problems with just administrative manner, it is not going to solve. I was in the Ministry of Home Affairs for 5 years in the previous government. I realized how important it is to attend to the need of the people with close heart. There are many officers sitting here, senior officers. For a senior officer in Government of India, for a joint secretary, for an additional secretary, for a secretary, the problems of the Northeast is just one of the problems. Whenever the people from Northeastern region, belonging to any community, tribe, region, they make certain demands. They come to Delhi, but they have to wait for so many days to get a simple 5 minutes appointment in any of the office in Delhi. Why? For the officer, he is attending Northeast problems as just one of the problems. But the people from Northeast, whoever come to Delhi, that problem is the most important problem. For any community who comes to Delhi to give representation to the government of India, is the most important problem for them. I've always stated that one single negligence by the central government can lead to derailment of the society. Our people are very sentimental people. Northeastern people are by and large very emotional. So if they fail to meet any of the person in Delhi to hear their case, they will go back. And many of the youth, many of the leaders I've seen, simply because they fail to connect with the central government, they will resort to certain undesirable activities. Some people even go to the extent of taking up arms because they are not heard. So some of the militant movement in Northeast had come up simply because their voice are not heard. Many of the Northeastern organizations failed to raise their voice in an appropriate forum, so they thought that taking up arms may lead to solution of their problems. We cannot justify any armed struggle. We cannot really endorse any violence. But what I want to tell is, simply because of an act of negligence which caused so many tremendous tragedies, a generation are gone. Today, those thousands of youth are coming back, laying their arms, joining the mainstream, because there is somebody who will hear their voice now. Why more than 10,000 people have surrendered arms after 2014? Because Narendra Modi listens to the people of Northeast. He hears them. This is very important. I have personally tried to meet anybody who comes from Northeast and listen to them and hear them out. Whether you listen to their demand or not, but first meet them, hear them out. So any senior officer serving in Government of India must take extra time to meet the people of Northeastern region. More than that, when Prime Minister in the first Council of Ministers meeting had formed a special committee, I was member of that committee. A committee was constituted of 4 ministers and it was to ensure that every union minister must visit northeastern region in every month. At least 5 cabinet ministers must visit northeast, and every month at least 7 ministers of state must visit northeast. So we ensured. Why should only northeastern people come to Delhi? The people sitting in the high position in Delhi must first go to northeast and listen to them, their problem in their region. There are certain important steps taken by Modi ji which led to change in the way in which the people of India generally what they think about Northeast. And when the DG's conference was held in Guwahati, the Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji said, we must have the interaction at different level. Not merely government to government, but people to people. And the concern of the northeastern people living in national capital and other metropolitan cities in the country were to be addressed. And I remember how we initiated, first of all, the major issues those days where the northeastern people are facing discrimination in Delhi and in other cities. This discrimination may happen due to negligence, due to ignorance, due to many reasons. When there are problems and fights, we can't just say that this is his problem or her problem. But whatever may be, there has to be some kind of a provision to settle it. So first of all, we targeted Delhi police because law and order was a major issue. So, with the approval and blessing of Prime Minister, we made a special attempt in the Home Ministry. And more than 1,000 boys and girls from Northeast are inducted into Delhi Police. That was our first major step initiated in 2015. We worked day and night, and within 1.5 years, we completed the process of recruitment. And thereafter, a special police unit for Northeastern region was created, and the building sanction was done, and it was inaugurated, and then subsequently special cell in the Delhi police for Northeastern region were given adequate support with proper vehicles, telephone numbers, and all other provisions. These are some of the few steps. It may be one step, but it changed the entire approach. One assault on a Northeast boy or girl in Delhi can cause tremendous sense of discrimination in Northeastern region. We have to be very careful because these are an issue of perception. When we are talking about embracing the entire Northeastern region, we must ensure that steps are taken at different regions. So, not only in Delhi, we ensured that all the metropolitan police across the country create special provision whenever any Northeastern person faces a problem, it must be addressed promptly on time. So these are how we have seen the change. For example, the Yuva Sangam which we launched just 2 years back. Today, all the universities in the Northeastern region are having direct exchange programs with the other universities and institutes like IITs, IIMs across the country. I have attended many of those functions. So this connect between rest of the country and Northeast has to be emotionally and culturally done. So I feel today's this special center of Northeastern Cultural and Social Institute will play a huge role in the future. This will be a major center and hub for various activities. I have been told by the Secretary that it will have a huge auditorium, more than 1,000 capacity, and then there are various provisions. And we saw in the slide that corridor being projected in the presentation, a beautiful design building. And of course the inauguration of Barak Hostel in JNU. These are beginning. So if you see Prime Minister's thought process, he is connecting the entire Northeastern region with the rest of the country, and from one state to another state. That is why when he initiated the philosophy of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, one India will make a strong India. We cannot make a strong India with fragmented treatment to different regions, with all kind of negligence, all kind of discrimination. It cannot sustain our country. We know our country is a multicultural, multi-ethnic nation. We have to ensure that everybody feels truly part of our nation. So, my own belief that the country begins from the last corner of the country, not from the national capital, has been truly implemented when Prime Minister declared all the border villages are the first villages of our country. So, Vibrant Village program, when it was launched, those villages, I have walked through so many villages, not only in villages in Northeast, but in some of the Himalayan region in northern part also, some of the villages in southern part also. Today, the Vibrant Village program is ensuring that whatever facility a person receives in the national capital will be made available to those places which are treated as the last villages of our country. Just imagine, 10 years back, I used to take, sometimes in some of the locations, 2 days, 3 days to reach my own capital, Itanagar. Now today, as I speak to you, every part of Arunachal Pradesh is reachable within 4 to 5 hours from Itanagar. And almost 90% of the villages are connected with 4G mobile network. And we have given a clear instruction that by March, end of March, 100% 4G connectivity must be ensured. So these are some of the, if I talk about infrastructure, it's unbelievable. You sit in Itanagar and reach same day within 3 hours in Delhi. Unthinkable just few years back. So the tremendous change in the way in which Northeast are being treated in Delhi, Northeastern region is being cared by the Honorable Prime Minister. These are very touching for us. It's not merely an occasion to just display your happiness, but these are moments of your satisfaction. You feel that, yes, we are now no more as we were just few years back. From today's function, I can draw a certain lesson. We are responsible people who have come here. Not only the officers, but people working from different backgrounds. Some of the people are working extremely hard in their respective field. I know very well. But I want to, just before concluding my point, just make one appeal. As a person from Northeastern region in the government, as a cabinet minister, and also I am the chairman of the Northeastern MPs Forum, I have certain appeal to make. Sometimes we may achieve so many things, but few incidents can derail those achievements. We know the background of Northeastern region as multiple ethnics coexist in a harmonious manner. But there are certain disturbances which are extremely painful. When we talk about unity of India in the Northeastern region only, we also ensure, we must ensure that there has to be extremely coexistence, there should be harmonious coexistence, there must be brotherly feeling amongst one community with another community. The incident which we saw in Manipur, problem is not a creation of the central government, but we cannot say that we are not responsible. But after so many years, we saw such a peaceful atmosphere in Manipur. First time, the people from valley and the hills were living together. The chief minister was going to the hills. Hill people were coming to the valleys. And they were extremely happy moment. And I have been constantly going to Manipur. And suddenly, one incident destroyed everything. Many people in rest of the countries may not understand. So we have a bounded duty here. If we want peace in Northeastern region, if we want peace in Manipur, we must, in a coordinated manner, appeal that peaceful coexistence is the most important thing. If we cannot peacefully live with each other, nobody can make us peaceful. We have to ensure that within ourselves, we have to ensure that everything should be within our own domain without any violent activities. There are certain disturbances which we see and it's very painful. Anybody who talks about Manipur, I say, okay, if you are concerned about Manipur, then please appeal. You must shun violence, drop the guns, live with each other, talk to each other. Because merely shooting at each other is not going to settle your problem. It will, in fact, increase the problems by multiple folds. There's no other alternative than to remain in peace with each other. The Northeast has seen the tremendous progress in last 10 years. But one incident has created a black spot for all of us. I had made an appeal in the past, but since Government of India is doing whatever it takes, but the support must come from all corners. We are extremely happy to see many of the northeastern region are now free from any violence. Imagine Tripura, which is here, is free from Armed Forces Special Powers Act. 100% free from all kind of insurgent activities. Assam, almost, it's a peaceful now, except one or two things which we could expect that it will be cleared soon. Arunachal Pradesh, except 3 districts in the eastern region, is completely free now. Meghalaya, Mizoram, all peaceful. Sikkim, always peaceful. Nagaland has returned to peace, and we are hoping that things will improve further. So, I am saying only this because so many people from Northeast are holding important positions and responsibilities. So we have definitely a bounded duty to ensure that when so much of progress are seen in the Northeast, we must also ensure that whatever problems remain must be eradicated. We must play critical roles. So today is a great function. I don't want to take much time, so I'm not talking much. I think Kiran Rijiju will highlight some of the initiative you have taken through the Ministry of Donor. We miss the Honorable Home Minister. He would have highlighted many of other things also. But we are here as a colleague in the cabinet. I know Kishanji is aware of it. In every cabinet meeting, Prime Minister ensures that whatever schemes, programs are launched, please ensure that it is implemented in Northeast first. This kind of priority I have never seen in the past. So thank you for participating in today's function. Many of our friends, especially the young friends, student friends, these are for you, these facilities are for you, for our future, and many more new generations, they will see much more prosperity in the northeastern region. I feel proud today that we are realizing one after another all those things we used to think that we deserve it. So Northeast doesn't need anything in charity. All these things are coming to Northeast because we deserve it. Northeastern people deserve many more things. And I would like to thank Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for constantly guiding us and constantly traveling to the Northeast and encouraging everybody to ensure that Northeastern becomes not only a region as a part of country, but a leading, vibrant economic hub of our nation. And as 8.1 GDP growth, I think many of the northeastern states in next 6-7 years time will climb to the, Sikkim is already there in the top of the ladder in the per capita GDP, but other states will also join. We will lead the country. We will be really Ashtalakshmi, as Prime Minister has described. Northeastern region will be a leading region, and every part of the country will feel proud of Northeastern region. Thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत आभार माननीय श्री किरण रिजिजू का। महोदय, आप भारत